Hello all, welcome to oratrainings.com. In this session, we'll discuss about the technical and functional process flow from AR invoice to general ledger. Okay, so generally the O2C cycle, when you just say O2C order to cash cycle, it starts from sales order, then it finishes in general ledger. But in this session, we'll be discussing the cycle flow from AR invoices to the general ledger. Okay, and we'll try to show you some of the tables which are involved to find out the information for a technical developer, and also we'll see how we create an AR invoice and how do we submit to GL. I logged into my Fusion now, so we have to navigate to the receivables, and we have to click on billing, and here in the task area, click on create transaction. So when we create a transaction, the basic set of input which we require for AR invoices are, the first one is starting with the business unit. Okay, and as we are entering the invoice manually, generally it will be manual invoice. Okay, and anyway it will get generated automatically even if you choose the data here. AR invoice, I just mentioned XX AR invoice 100, and choose a particular customer. Okay, this is the customer information we have to choose. Let's try with my name if it is available. And yeah, let's try again. Yeah. So I have chosen a customer, and bill to and ship to are auto populated based on the configuration of the customer. Okay, and of course that seems my name is a mistake, but it's okay. Now, and here if you observe, if you want to enter a salesperson, you can enter the salesperson, because generally whenever invoice is generated, like you'll be like you'll have the salesperson will have a percentage of share on the sales which you done your what do you call in the business, and it depends upon the configuration what you mentioned. Now let's say if you choose a particular salesperson, I'll just choose a salesperson here, and this currency will be based on the business unit which you select. The payment terms also, you by default it's showing this one. And now I'll just go with the line details here. I'll just say line description 1, and I'll just say UOM each. Okay, I'll just go with the quantity 100 and unit price 1. I'll create 3 lines. Okay, and now quantity 200 and 1, line description 3 each, 301. Okay, now what I have done is I entered header information, then I entered line information, and now just click on save. Okay, so now yeah, let's click on save first. Yeah, the data got saved, and here if you observe, right, whatever the number which we entered is nothing. So but it generated invoice number 5076767. Now click on sales credit. Yeah, can you see here? Now what happened was the sales credit got auto generated because based on the salesperson number, like this particular salesperson number is entitled with a particular set of commission based on the configuration of your business unit or salesperson. Now let us understand which tables you have this information. So as we see that generally like this data would have been divided into 3 set of entities, nothing but tables I can say. So this high level, the first data which we entered started with the header information, and then we enter the line information. Based on the line information, it got generated the sales credit. Okay, and before discussing the table, let us see one more information. Now click on actions, click on distribution, click on save first of all, and then click on distribution. Here if you observe, even the distribution was allocated automatically, and now you have different account classes: receivables, revenue, as well as tax. This generally tax will get calculated based on the configuration again. Now you'll have the set of the total information will be available at the receivable level, and it will have the information. Now you'll have a revenue information and then the tax information. Okay, now let's get back to the tables now. Okay, so there are totally 4 tables involved. Let me show you the table information. Are a customer transaction all, which will have the header information. Transaction lines all will have a lines information, and the salesperson representative all will have the details about what is the commission you are assigning to the salesperson. This one is a GL distribution, right? The distribution percentage for each line. Okay, most of these particular set of 4 tables are linked based on the customer transaction ID. So generally here, if you observe, right, in the RA customer transactions all table, Let me show you that. So where is that? Array customer transactions all. Yeah. So this based on this array customer transaction all, the primary key in this one is a customer transaction ID. So all these four tables are linked with the customer transaction ID. Okay. So this is a set of course, there could be another set of tables, but we don't want to get much deeper of that. But as of now, high level tables involved in the AR invoices are these one. Okay. Header, lines, scales credit, as well as distribution. Okay, now let us see the flow of this particular AR invoice to the GL. Okay, now the status is incomplete, right? So now what we have to do, if we just click on actions, we just have this edit in distribution. Now let's say in the save, we just have save and close. And now here, if you observe, click on complete and review. Okay, click on complete and review. Now here, if you observe, the status is complete, right? Earlier it was incomplete, now it got completed. And make a note of your invoice number, okay? Because we want to see the data availability in the SLA. Right now it won't be available in the SLA because we have not even done the accounting or posting, right? It won't be available. Okay, now what we have to do, click on actions, or you can click on image. It generates the default AR invoice template. Okay, you'll have a standard report for AR invoice. By default, it will generate the information here. Okay, and most of the clients generally they customize this one AR invoice, like a logo or some set of colors, or they want to have some extra information. Okay, now let's click on actions, and simply we have many other things, but I don't want to get much deeper of them. Simply click on post to ledger. That's it. Now what will happen? The data which you have in AR invoices, nothing but like the amount information, right? So the amount set of amount which you have in the line level, they got distributed according to the distribution accounts, and this set of distribution information will be posted to GL lines, because in the GL lines you'll have the distribution account information, right? Like the set of amount or a credit or a particular account that will be available in the GL. Just click on view accounting, and you have the account level information. Can you see here? And for this account, receivable account, you have this amount, and you have a revenue as well as tax. So the receivable account, now nothing but the invoice level, you have the invoice level amount was 637.50, and out of this 637.50, you have two other accounts, like one is for the revenue, other one is a tax. Now how do we validate this information in the GL? That is the next task we want to validate. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just make a note of my invoice number. I think we have done it already. Yeah, make a note of the invoice number. I have a query. So here, if you observe, most of the tables, like in the GL, maybe if you're aware, like we have main tables like GL batches, GL headers, and GL lines. Okay, and now, and here, if you observe, I used all of them mostly, like, and GL ledgers. And now what I have done, I joined all my GL tables. Not only that, I have joined the array customer transaction because I want to get the SLA details, nothing but subledger accounting details of my AR invoice, which got posted into general ledger. How do I know which particular general it got posted into, right? So we have this all XLA set of tables which were joined. So now I'll just copy paste this one into my BIP to find out into which GL this is available. So I'll just edit the existing data model, which I have already. Okay, now click on data view. Okay, and generally this table will have huge amount of data, so we always need to fine tune it based on the requirement. So I'll just click on table view, and here can you see, like it has all the information. The status is posted, and it is in this particular April 4th. I mean the period is April, right? Period as well as the year, and this sort of account. And here, if you observe the 637, the receivables account, and revenue information, and the tax information, like nothing but they got posted to 3 lines, right? So obviously they will get distributed based on the account type. Okay, so now this is my journal header name, not batch name. Okay, if you have the batch name, then we would have got the clarity. We would have just simply joined with the GJB badges, like a GLJE badges table, then would have got some more information. I'll go to journals now, general accounting, click on journals. Okay, click on the task list, click on manage journals. Now what you do is click on search. Now general try to search based on the period. Okay, now 421, and I'll say contains, mention this one. Okay, we got huge set of list, right? Okay, And here, if you observe the 637.50, 637.50 is the one. And here, if you observe, they got available in different set of ledgers. So it all again depends upon your configuration, because in this particular instance, whenever you post the ledger, it will get posted to 3 ledgers. Like they have the they have some set of settings. So I'll just click on US primary ledger. Okay. And if you want to still validate, okay, whether this particular information which I have is correct or not, what you can do is just here, you'll have a description, right? Description, I think have not mentioned here. Yeah. What we can do is, let's see here. Yeah, we just need to modify this one a little bit. I'll just say gjh.star. In which column we have description? Yeah, description. I'll just add description also for this one. gjh.description. Okay. Copy. Now change this query. Now we'll have the perfect information, like just search description, right? Now just search this one. Okay. So this way you can make sure that, like what the set of journal which we're checking is correct one or not, or you can still validate based on the journal batch. So now what we have done, we created a AR invoice, we posted the information to GL journal, and we have validated the particular batch as well as journal information. Now here, if you observe, coming back to the journal tables, the top level table information will be available in the journal batches. This is journal header, and this is GL lines. These are the GL lines. Okay, these are the set of tables which we join, and the remaining XLA table, right? These are all subledger accounting tables. Okay. And here, if you observe the subledger accounting tables, what we have done, we have joined in the source interface ID1 with the RA customer transaction. Okay. And this information will be available in the XLA transaction interface. Whenever any XLA event is done, you'll have a record in the XLA transaction events, and in this you'll have the appropriate information. And also make sure that here I've mentioned the general ledger name, because this particular, based on the settings of SLA, the data was getting posted to 3 ledgers in my scenario. So that is why I wanted hard coded a particular ledger. Okay. So this is all about the process flow from AR invoice to the general ledger. Thank you.